What devastating sports loss tops them all?
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free!
Like a demon from the depths of hell.
Oh, that got dark fast. Welcome to Brother Sport, and admittedly, we started thinking about this topic, gut-wrenching losses, when we watched the Blu Jays choke away Game 6 and 7 to the Dodgers in the World Series.
That got us thinking. What are the most gut-wrenching, soul-crushing, can't-sleep for a week losses in sports history? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy commiserating with us. And for this list, we're not talking about the Yankees, Patriots, Chiefs, or Lakers. No dynasties. These are the losses that ripped the hearts out of fan bases that rarely, if ever, get to taste the glory.
I always think about that scene from Indiana Jones when he watches the guy get his heart ripped out.
Here are the top 10 most gut-wrenching losses in sports history.
Bring it on.
Number 10, the drive and the fumble. Let's kick things off with the Cleveland Browns, a team so cursed it had back-to-back years of the same heartbreak.
Back in the 80s, the Cleveland Browns folks were good. And in 1986, the Browns were 98 yards and 2 minutes away from the Super Bowl. Then John Elway led the drive, a surgical, soul-snatching march that tied the game and broke Cleveland's spirit. Can there be worse pain?
Besides stubbing your toe?
Touchdown, Mark Jackson!
A year later, the football gods cruelly said, "Hold my beer." With a chance to finally exercise their demons, Ernest Biner fumbled on the Broncos' 2-yard line instead of going in for what would have been a game-clinching score.
2 straight years, 2 straight heartbreaks, and to the same team.
Twice? 2 times.
For Browns fans in need of therapy, I'd suggest a good masseuse. But better not.
The massages are out! What are you? They're out!
Number 9, the David Freese game, 2011 World Series Game 6. Okay, let's talk a little baseball here. In October, the sport becomes can't-miss TV.
Quickly on the Rangers. This is a franchise been around for a long time, but took 50 years just to reach their first World Series in 2010, only to lose to the Giants 4-1. Now, 1 year later, they were poised to redeem that loss, just 1 strike away from World Series glory, twice.
Twice? 2 times.
But David Freese said, not on my watch.
Freese ties it in the 9th with this shot over Cruz's outstretched arm. Then, in the 10th, the Rangers are once again 1 strike away from winning it all, only to give up this hit to Lance Berkman. Finally, 1 inning later, Freese dons the cape again, winning it with this insane home run shot.
We will see you tomorrow night!
The Cardinals take Game 6, and eventually the series in 7.
But Rangers fans have been waiting for over 50 years. And it's fair to assume for many of those fans that they thought they would never get that close to glory again. The Fighting Chuck Norrises, however, would finally break through in 2023, so the pain hopefully subsided. But still, to be that close, sports are awesome.
It just makes my lips numb to think about it.
Number 8, Kings-Lakers 2002 Western Conference Finals. Okay, over to the hardwood. It's not hard to find heartbreak in this league, especially for any small market teams trying to break through. I mean, just look at this past NBA Finals when we saw Tyrese Halliburton go down in Game 7 of a crucial Pacers-Thunder matchup. I think a lot of people thought if he doesn't get hurt, the Pacers may win that game. I may be one of them. But for our list, we're going with another small market franchise, a team and a series that serves as a permanent stain on the NBA's reputation.
Most people agree that Game 6 is perhaps the most poorly officiated game in NBA history. The Lakers shot 27 free throws in the 4th quarter alone. Multiple Kings players fouled out, and Mike Bibby apparently fouled Kobe's elbow on this play. I mean, look at Rick Adelman's face. Lakers win, and I put win in quotes.
We now roll into what should not have even existed, Game 7, and you could just tell the Kings were demoralized. Call it nerves, call it inexperience, but the Lakers prevailed in overtime as the Kings choked the final game away. I mean, look at Peja Stojakovic here. A dead-on shooter. This shot's not even close.
The series was clearly rigged against them, and they still had a chance. Kings fans, we feel for you, even if Kobe didn't.
But from the Kings missing 20-something free throws in Game 7.
Good point. Good point.
Unless
People
you go and
forget
check
that.
their bank accounts.
Yep.
Number 7, 7-1 in the 2014 World Cup. Remember how we said that we were not going to be featuring teams that were always good and dynasties and such? Well, this is an exception for a couple of reasons.
First off, a couple fun facts for you. In 2014, nearly 3.2 billion people tuned in to watch the World Cup. Hosted by the favorites, the mighty Brazilians. National teams really need mascots. I don't know why they don't have them already. And nearly everyone in that country had their TVs on to watch their home team take on Germany in the semifinals.
Only one problem, though. Brazil seemingly forgot how to play soccer for about 25 minutes. I mean, 4 goals in 6 minutes sounds impossible. But this really happened, and not only did it happened to Brazil in Brazil. I mean, look at these fans. This is the absolute definition of devastation.
By the end, even Germany felt bad. And that's something, coming from a country that started not 1, but 2 world wars.
Twice? 2 times.
Brazil scored a meaningless goal in garbage time to make it 7-1. But honestly, would that be much better than 7-0?
Figured maybe if my heart stopped beating, wouldn't hurt so much.
Number 6, Brett Favre's interception, 2009 NFC Championship. Back to the American version of football. We definitely could have gone with the double doink, other plays like that, but we went here with a different team from the NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings, and a franchise that has more than their fair share of heartbreak, including the infamous Gary Anderson miss in 1998 that ultimately cost perhaps their best team their best chance at a Super Bowl. Did Fox jinx him with this graphic? We'll never know.
Fast forward to 2009. Now, if I was a Vikings fan, this is the one that would have to hurt the most. Let's freeze it here. Brett Favre found himself wide open on a bootleg scramble and had a slew of options available to him, including running 10 yards to position the Vikings for a game-winning field goal.
Instead, he literally does the worst thing possible, the one cardinal sin, the thing that quarterbacks should never do. He throws back across his body and is picked off by Tracy Porter. I think Paul Allen, the voice of Minnesota football, speaks for us all here.
I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
The game goes to overtime, where the Saints win on a walk-off field goal and eventually roll to Super Bowl glory. Minnesota still hasn't been to the big game since 1977.
Don't get it twisted. Despite the Minneapolis miracle a few years later, Minnesota is a land of frozen, unattainable dreams.
You're darn tootin'. So damn important to you.
That brings us to number 5, Kyle Brotzman's misses, plural, 2010. Okay, we're swinging over to college football. Talk about a true Cinderella, something we'll probably never see again. In college athletics, some teams have come super duper close, like Brad Stevens' Butler Bulldogs, which got to 2 straight national championships, only to lose each one in heartbreaking fashion.
At midcourt, launches the shot. Oh, it almost went in.
In college football, I think this is even more rare, as physicality and speed are usually just defined by how you can recruit, and teams simply can't keep up with that. But in 2010, little old Boise State had a chance to do the unthinkable. Play for a national championship in the BCS. All they had to do was beat Nevada in their final regular season game.
One small problem. Nevada had a quarterback named Colin Kaepernick. Cap tied up the game on this pass, and a cannon nearly killed half of the players. I mean, look how close that thing is.
At least they're deaf, right? Kellen Moore responded immediately with this unbelievable long bomb to Titus Young. And that sets Kyle Brotzman up for this chip shot game-winning field goal that, does that go in? It is so hard to tell. It's so close. But officials say no good.
We head to overtime, and Brotzman is given a chance to totally redeem himself. This one is clearly no good. Brutal.
This is turning into a disaster for Brotzman.
Nevada's kicker steps up and drills his, and that is the game. Boise State went from playing in the Rose Bowl and for a national championship to playing in the Las Vegas Bowl. Let that sink in.
You okay, buddy?
No, I am in so much pain right now.
Number 4, Jazz Bowls 1997 and 98 NBA championships. So a little bit about Elijah and I. We grew up in Utah. as massive Jazz fans. So when we say things like, we understand the pain you're feeling, we want you to know it comes from the heart.
With a team anchored by two of the 50 greatest players of all time, Stockton and Malone managed to make 97 a very competitive series, eventually falling in 6 to MJ's Bulls. A bummer, but not a surprise. 1998, though, was different.
Indeed, the Jazz found themselves as the home court advantaged favorites against an aging Jordan, fresh off a Game 7 war against Reggie Miller and the Pacers.
Jordan decided in the final minute of Game 6, I got this. There was nothing you could do but complain about a small but never going to be called push-off on Brian Russell.
Open! Chicago with the lead!
And that, folks, was it for Stockton and Malone. They never again would get to the finals, and Jazz fans like us two suckers sat there wondering really dark thoughts like, could I don the purple and gold? Would Warriors fans notice if I switched allegiances like half their fan base? But you can't choose. We all know that.
Milk was a bad choice.
Number 3, Bartman and Buckner, Cubs and Red Sox. Okay, we really couldn't separate these two, so we combined them. Hey, it's not my fault you traded Babe Ruth, or denied entrance to a poor, innocent Billy Goat.
First off, let's talk about Bill Buckner, the man famous for this play.
Behind the bag! It gets through Buckner!
This was Boston's best shot at a World Series chip since, ever. Considering they had been cursed by the great Bambino all the way back in 1918. The Mets won the game, and eventually the title in 7.
Talk about history repeating itself. In 2003, the other cursed franchise, the lovable loser Chicago Cubs, finally looked poised to win it all, when this fan, Steve Bartman, reached for a foul ball and deflected away a sure out in yet another inning full of errors.
Reaching into the stands and couldn't get it, and he's livid with a fan.
Chicago chose to stay mad at this poor dude who only wanted to catch a foul ball, and then choked away the rest of the series.
These two plays will be discussed forever, as the Red Sox didn't break through until 2004, and the Cubs did it 13 years after that. Two fan bases literally looking at championship droughts in nearly a century. That, my friends, is a lot of years.
It's been 84 years.
Number 2, the great choke job, Super Bowl 51. Some days I wake up and think about the Atlanta Falcons. I think about their fans and I wonder how they get out of bed, knowing they are rooting for a franchise that orchestrated arguably the greatest choke job in the history of sports.
Let's revisit this because hurting is fun. I think we can all admit in Super Bowl 51, almost all of us were rooting for the Atlanta Falcons, hoping desperately the Brady-Belichick-Pats era would end. And things were looking great. Atlanta was up 28-3 with New England facing a 3rd and 8 with only 4 minutes and change left in the third quarter.
One slight problem, though. The Patriots had a quarterback at the helm, more commonly referred to as the GOAT. And with this scramble, New England scored and then immediately got the ball back on this terribly timed sack fumble of Matt Ryan, Pats score, and convert the 2-point conversion. This can't be happening.
Still, Atlanta had the lead, and Julio Jones made a miraculous grab that once again seemed to push the game out of reach, only to see Ryan get sacked, punting, seeing Julian Edelman make one of the greatest catches of all time, and eventually pushing the game into overtime after another touchdown and, yes, another successful 2-point conversion, by literal inches.
And we really don't even need to talk about overtime. Pats drive down and score, game over. Arguably the worst loss in sports history. What could possibly top this?
I don't know.
Is there really something?
I don't know.
Number 1, the Buffalo Bills. Wide right and 13 seconds. I think in terms of single losses, Atlanta has a pretty solid argument to be considered number 1. But nobody, and I mean nobody, has a history like the Buffalo Bills. And for our list, they take the top spot, not just for one devastating loss, but 2, sandwiched amidst a slew of other really painful losses.
Let's rewind to 1991, when Buffalo first made the big game and looked poised to leave with the trophy. All they needed was for Scott Norwood to nail this 47-yarder. Instead, a new phrase is coined: wide right.
No good. Wide right.
The Bills weren't done though, as they became the only team ever to make and lose 4 straight Super Bowls. Pause with me for a second. Think about that. 4 in a row. That is devastation defined.
Fast forward through years of mediocrity until a new savior appears.
The Buffalo Bills select Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming.
In 2021, the Bills found themselves again on the doorstep of immortality, as Allen outdueled Mahomes to take a lead in the game with a mere 13 seconds left.
All they had to do was not play the dumbest defense of all time. Literally, this is the dumbest defense in the history of the league. They let Travis Kelce set up a game-tying field goal that pushed the game into overtime. Josh Allen wouldn't even get his hands back on the ball, as Mahomes would roll down the field and punch in the game-winning score.
It's generational trauma at this point. I can see why they like crashing through tables with all that brain damage. All in all, the Chiefs have knocked Buffalo out of the playoffs 4 times. Indeed, at this point, Bills fans don't tailgate, they cope. And that, my friends, is why they get to be number 1 on this list.
There you have it, the top 10 gut-wrenching losses in sports history. I know we did a lot of grouping into those, but it just felt wrong to not at least talk about all of these ones. So many options in this rich tapestry of losing.
So which loss hurt you the most? And what else should have cracked the list?
Make sure you drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Brother Sport for more of these arbitrary lists that mean nothing to anyone. All we're trying to do is help you feel more pain.
Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and I'll see you in therapy.
Quick rundown of some honorable mentions we didn't talk about. We had the Seahawks, Patriots, obviously, Super Bowl. That could have been on the list. We had the Blazers in the 2000 Western Conference Finals, choking to Shaq and Kobe in the 4th quarter. We got the Cleveland Indians in 1997 World Series Game 7. Houston losing to Florida in March Madness back in 2025. That was a bummer. Houston may never get back. And you have USC losing the Rose Bowl to Texas in 2006, but it's USC. And Reggie Bush apparently was a cheater.